The film crew are in Michigan to shoot the discovery and restoration of one of Mario Andretti's old roadster cars from the 60s. From the high-tech glamour of speedways and consorting with some of the most famous race car drivers in the world, the crew members find themselves wrangling chickens and spinning cobwebs.
We were looking for a historical context from the beginning. And when Bill Reeve discovered that Mario's first roadster that he ever drove, first racing car that he ever drove, was being restored, it was really another miracle in the film, because the fact that Mario's career even started on a roadster was wonderful for us. But the fact that this roadster was discovered in a chicken coop was a fabulous opportunity for a filmmaker.
Down too low. You hit the tire, they can harness and go back.
Drop it 80 by 100.
But I'm gonna. This is your barn. I'm gonna make it your car.
Am I supposed to like give a sales pitch?
Here it is. Get it out if you want it. Yeah. I know. Between the engine and the frame. Why careful? Is it expendable? Action!
Don Lyons and his family have restored a dozen race cars over the last 20 years. In their spare time, they scour the country looking for hidden treasures in the most unlikely places.
The restoration of a car like this depends on having authentic parts where authentic parts were appropriate, such as the motor and transmission, the rear end, the shocks and brakes, and where it was a creation of an individual, the builder, Eddie Kuzma in this case, it's absolutely critical that his work be copied part for part and weld for weld. Cars of that vintage were built one at a time by individual constructors and almost always raced to destruction. To have one survive is very unusual indeed.
Yeah, you want to use planks or just put the track and wedge the track? Well, you want to use those planks? What planks? Right. Speed. Action. Take, because it was pretty dramatic. The whole thing worked pretty well. Some of the chickens were good. The fighting with the car.
Don Lyons becomes an enthusiastic participant in the film and provides invaluable help in authentically recreating the restoration. Over the next few weeks, the car begins to take shape. It is an arduous and time-consuming project, but both Lyons and Stephen Lowe are adamant that it be documented accurately. The finished Roadster is spectacular, but beauty is only skin deep. Mario has yet to drive the car.
There's two levels to the story of Don Lyons. One is he a good character on film? And he most certainly was. A marvelous, warm, friendly character. But the other thing is, almost as important, is can he actually make the Roadster work? Because we required that. It would have been no use whatsoever if Don had taken 20 years to restore the Roadster while we were filming, or if we'd rolled out the Roadster and the thing blew up. So we needed both a great character and a responsible, very technically competent character, and we found both in Don Lyons.
Mario's interest in driving the car didn't develop until the filming of the movie, and that's fairly typical of race car drivers. They have very little interest in the cars. That's a disposable commodity for them. Their interest is in winning races.
Once again, Andretti takes the wheel, but with a different car and a whole new set of problems in mounting the camera. The Roadster vibrates more than a modern Indy car, and an ordinary country road is not a smooth speedway. Though Don Lyons may feel drivers have no nostalgia for their old cars, when there's a break between camera loads, Mario regales the crew with stories from the Roadster era.
And here's Antonio the Great coming off the fourth corner. It's only a half-mile track, and he's doing all of about 80 miles an hour. They said 300, 400, 500, 600 miles an hour because he had these rockets exploding, you know? So, Chris Economac and this guy Sam Nunes was another promoter. They were out in the stands and tried to get reaction from people. He said, hey, he says, what do you think of that run, 600 miles an hour? The guy gets up and said, ain't no way. He said, 300, 400 maybe. No way a guy was doing 600.
The Roadsters were brutal cars, very lethal. A number of drivers didn't survive the Roadster era. They were very deadly cars. And to have the driver survive and the car survive, and both of them reunited in an IMAX format, is just an incredible opportunity. It's truly once in a lifetime.